Madam Forelady, has your jury agreed upon a verdict?
Yes.
On count 1, strangulation or suffocation, what is your verdict? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
On count 2, the charge of assault and battery, what is your verdict? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Madam Forelady, members of the jury, hearken to your verdict as the court has reported it. Upon your oath, you say that the defendant is not guilty of the count of strangulation or suffocation and not guilty of the count of assault and battery. So say you, Madam Forelady?
Yes.
So say all members of the jury?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Jurors, please be seated for a moment. Everyone may be seated. Thank you. Jurors, I told you during this trial and in my instructions that the verdict was your responsibility and your responsibility alone. Jurors, I want to thank each of you for your careful attention and your service throughout this trial.
All right. All right, folks, we are back here on WLTH 1370M. That is 92.7 in the FM dial. If you're nasty, Miss Jackson's still not here. But we are here in the dark here at WLTH 1370M. That's 92.7 in the FM dial. This is Straight Out of the Cannon with me, Scott Cannon. Hope you guys enjoyed the Sharon Jones. A big fan of hers. Really unsung, great singer. Hopefully a lot of you go out and look her up and see and look into her discography. She did a lot of great work. Let me get this call before I get into the story. Hello, caller. What's up? Hello, caller.
Hello.
What's up?
Hey, I'm calling back. You know, you said the black poverty rate is at 20%?
World, nationwide, that is what it's clocked at.
Okay, that goes to show you what the Bible's been saying. Towards the end of time, the first shall be last, and the last shall be first.
Okay. Thank you for your call, brother.
All right.
It's all good. As you heard in the intro, that man, Stefon Diggs, has been found not guilty on all charges in the Massachusetts assault case involving his former personal chef, Jamila Mila Adams. The verdict came on May the 5th after roughly 90 minutes of a jury deliberation in Dedham District Court. He had actually faced a felony strangulation charge, a misdemeanor assault and battery charge. These allegations stemmed from supposedly a December 2025 incident at his Massachusetts home. Adams testified that Diggs slapped and choked her during an argument over money and employment issues. Diggs has denied these allegations from the beginning and pled not guilty earlier this year. These were huge accusations, and it was happening right at the time that he was supposed to be playing in the Super Bowl. You had a lot of people saying he shouldn't have been allowed to play in the Super Bowl because of these issues and these allegations. But it was pretty obvious during the trial that this woman was not credible. The prosecutors tried to argue that she was assaulted during the dispute. The defense was able to successfully attack her credibility and said the incident never happened. Defense witnesses also testified that they did not see any injuries or evidence of any altercation. Video and text message evidence actually prove are what buried this woman. You can actually see video. You actually see video of this woman dancing and doing, like, I want to say the Running Man or something, some sort of dance right after she was supposedly assaulted by Stefon Diggs. But this was on, I believe it was on the camera, the surveillance camera. You can actually see the woman dancing on the surveillance camera. A lot of reports have shown that the prosecution's case was weakened because of inconsistencies in Adams' testimony and the lack of corroborating physical evidence. Now, this is important because this isn't the first time this has happened, folks. This is not the first time this has happened. I actually did a story a few, I want to say a few years ago. It might have been last year or a few years ago on former Illinois Illini player Terrence Shannon, who's currently cooking for the Minnesota Timberwolves in the NBA. But this man almost had his career ended before it started by false allegations that he had assaulted a woman in a club somewhere. And ultimately, he was proven innocent by video as well. But he had to go through a whole hell of a lot to clear his name. And he wasn't drafted where he was supposed to be drafted, didn't get the money he was supposed to get. But, he seemed to be overcoming that fact. Too many times are you seeing young men be accused of things, particularly young black men, especially. These athletes, they are getting accused falsely of these incidents, and you have the lynch mob online and everywhere else saying that we really need to, we gotta, basically string him up, destroy his career. He shouldn't have a career. He shouldn't have anything. And unless you were lucky enough to get things on surveillance camera, like in the case of Terrence Shannon or in the case of Stefon Diggs here, you could have a situation where a young man's whole life is ruined by a false accusation. Now, the reason I bring this up is because we're told over and over again, time and time again, that this does not happen. We are told that men are not falsely accused of rape and sexual assault. We hear this all the time. Believe all women. Remember that? Believe all women. You have to believe all women. I don't believe in all of anybody. Men, women, black people, white people, Asians, Hispanics. Unless I know you personally, you're my sister, you're my mother, you're my father, you're my brother, and I know I can vouch for your character, I don't have to believe you. And these types of cases are basically enabled because they have been what I like to call an overcorrection to the sexual politics of the past. In many years in the past, they did not take rape and sexual assault and assault against women seriously at all in this country. I remember I was talking to my mother about this, and she said like 50, 60 years ago, if like a woman in their neighborhood called the police on their husband who beat him up, the police would just come and tell the husband to go sleep it off somewhere else. He wouldn't be arrested, anything. They just say, you got somewhere else you can sleep tonight? And that was about it. We went from not taking it seriously at all to the overcorrection, which is where we're at now, where if you're a woman, you can make a accusation against a random dude, and that's it for you. That could be it for you, unless you have some sort of mitigating evidence, like video, like a video of the incident, or you have witnesses. That could be the end of your life. We saw what happened to somebody like Brian Banks, who spent years in prison and then got out of prison, and only after he served his sentence was he able to get the woman on camera, not camera, but on recording, admitting that she did not he did not assault her. He didn't rape her. We've seen cases like Janarlo Wilson and other cases where, again, young, particularly black men, are falsely accused, and it has a huge effect on their lives. Maybe they lose their careers, they lose their jobs, they go to jail, and only after years hopefully after years, they're able to get out of jail at some point. We saw it with the Central Park Five. The Central Park Five spent years in prison until the DNA test came out and found out that the dude who actually did the rape and assault of the jogger in Central Park was some, serial rapist who, whose DNA was all over. And so it is important, and I always do, when I talk about these types of stories, I always say it's important to wait for the evidence to come in. Like, a lot of people try to intimidate you out of wanting evidence to come in before you make a judgment against somebody. They'll shame you. They'll say, you don't support women. or you don't support, you know, black women especially. Well, you know, in the case of Jamila Adams, she was somebody not worth believing. She was somebody not worth supporting. And so now Stefon Diggs is a free agent. He's not on the team he was with, the New England Patriots that went to the Super Bowl last year, and this case was a part of that. And now hopefully he'll be able to get his name and career back. But where do you go to get your name back after you've been accused of committing a brutal, vicious assault against a woman? Let me get this caller. Hello, caller. Make it quick. We got to get out of here.
All right, I'll make it quick. It's all about that, what the OJ say about that
money,
almighty dollar.
Yes, mean green.
And these guys got to realize that you're making money and you got people hanging around you like that, anybody can haul off and give you what you want. Yep. And then they turn around and lie and say you raped them. Yep. You did this, that, and other. So that's all about money. The lawyers going to make money. The people that accuse you going to make money. And that's the world. That's how it is.
Absolutely. Thank you for your call, brother. It's all good. I remember the Mike Tyson case. A lot of people to this day still talk about Mike Tyson as if he's some horrific serial rapist. I actually have the video of this. One day I might have to play it. I'll find some reason to play it. But the jury that convicted Mike Tyson in 1992, they were actually interviewed about the case 10 years later by Greta Van Susteren, the journalist Greta Van Susteren. And the jury actually, after they had convicted Mike Tyson, said that they regretted convicting Mike Tyson, and that the reason that they convicted Mike Tyson is because he had such bad representation provided to him by Don King, maybe on purpose, maybe not. But the point is, Mike, we talk about Muhammad Ali losing his prime because Muhammad Ali went to prison, was kept out of boxing from 26 to 29. Well, Mike Tyson was kept out of boxing from 26 to 29 as well by what I believe to be a bogus rape charge. And even the jury that convicted Mike Tyson, the people on the jury said that they would not have convicted him a second time if they knew what they knew eventually about the case, and that Mike's very bad representation is the reason that they convicted him. So this isn't anything new. We saw what happened to Tupac before he was killed. The case that smells very fishy against him for sexual battery. They could not get him for rape or sexual assault. So they got him for sexual battery. And the supposed people who did the crime, nothing happened to any of them. Because allegedly they were working with the state against Tupac. So this is why you have to be careful, folks. This is why you have to be careful about these narratives, especially when you're accusing people of being sexual assaulters and rapists. It is hard to come back from that. It is hard to get your name back, your reputation back. Best of luck to Stefon Diggs. Hopefully he can put this incident behind him permanently for good, get his good name back, get his career back, get on a team somewhere, and continue to have a great career.